Hey guys, welcome to Paper Old and New. I'm Cindy, and this is Roxy's Weekly Challenge. I finally caught up. Hopefully, you will see this the week you're supposed to see it. This is week 19. I thought this was really neat because we made these, I want to say week 16. And she said she was going to come back to them because she had another idea. And I like the idea because I've been doing a lot of like flippy books with envelopes and accordion books and all that kind of stuff. And I like what she did with these. So I'm not going to do anything to this one because I really like the way this one turned out and I don't want to mess it up. So this one is going to stay as it is. But we are going to take some more. I am using double-sided 12 by 12 cardstock. Lightweight cardstock, just because it's what I have to hand and it's easy for me and it's using stuff up. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call this kind of like an in-between in my using up 12 by 12 sheets of paper, because you can do that with this. So this is one that I cut when we were working on week 16, I just didn't get to it. But this is the strip that got cut off of here. So this is a 12 by 12 piece of paper. I cut it down to 9 inches because that's I like that size as far as journals go. 9 by 6. These don't come out to 6 inches when you do them. They come out to about 5, maybe a little less, depending on how you fold it. But you're going to make this little trifold thing. And I like the envelope that you glue in, so I'm probably going to make one of those. And then her new idea was to add pages into this so that it's like a little mini notebook kind of a thing. So let's get going and we'll see how many of these we can make. And we will be using the cutoff strips to make pockets or tucks or something, so that we use an entire sheet of 12 by 12 paper for every one of these that we make. So I will be linking this particular episode of Roxy's Weekly Challenge in my 12 by 12 playlist. So let's get started. We have these. I'm going to go ahead and cut a few more of them just so that we have them ready and we can start putting things inside them. As you can see, this is some very colorful 12 by 12 paper. Some of the sheets I like better than others, but we're just going to see how it goes. No, I don't want to fold it in half. I am actually going to just put these in a stack and get them as close to, and I'm going to cut 3 inches off, and we're just going to get them as close to the same size as I can. You can cut through multiple pieces of paper with the rotary cutter, so just to make this quick, fast, and painless, hopefully, I'm going to do them all at once. So we're taking, I'm going to do them all at once if I can get them all in a stack, an even stack. Let's try this again. Okay, so we're taking off 3 inches. Make them 9 inches high. So we're going to go back to here. I'm going to line this up and we're going to go through all of the stacks, or the whole stack. We're just going to keep cutting until they all come free. And hope my ruler doesn't move and everything stays where it's supposed to. Let's pull up just this little spot down here and we're all good. Although that did cut crooked because of the way it pulled away. Okay, so here's our 9-inch pieces that will get folded, and all we have to do is look at them and decide what we want on the inside. For this one, because the inside gets covered up by a pocket, so if there's a design like this, is a lot more subtle and easy to look at, probably also easier to decorate. So I am probably going to take that side to be the outside, since you don't do as much to it. So we're going to put this over to about here-ish, so that we have, I suppose I could try and get these all the same. It's almost 5 inches. I'm just going to fold it right there. Okay, let's get our bone folder, fold that, and then fold our flap over. Now, try and fold it straight, Cindy. All right, so that's another one. And like I said, we'll be putting an envelope or something in here. So more of this will get covered up. And I want to hide that particular pattern. So that's good. Now on this one, let's check the sides. And ooh, that's a tough one. I actually like this. So we're going to hide the plaid, I think. It doesn't really matter which way I fold it because this paper is non-directional. I don't know if you noticed. There's not really a lot of, there's not really upside down with this paper. See, I can turn it the other way and it's just fine. But yeah, I actually like this pattern out here. So that's that one. We probably will not get all of these made. I'm not sure on that one. As a matter of fact, I'm going to set it to the side because I'm not sure. We're going to put this to the inside. I like the flowers better than I like the whatever that is supposed to be. And of course, everything being equal, we aren't going to like the same thing. So you may be looking at that going, no, you needed to put the other side in. That's hideous. But, you know, I mean, how much fun would it be if we all like the same stuff? Okay. Because I can look at these papers and see how people would look at them and go, oh my gosh, are you serious? Oh, this one's kind of nice because that's a very subtle outside, and I'm going to keep that as the outside. But this isn't a horrible inside. And getting toned down some will do it some good. And I think it'll make a nice, yeah, I think it'll make a nice folio. Just give me a second, I'll get it. And this one, this is kind of like this green one that I left with all the swirlies in it that I left to the outside. And I think we're going to leave the flowers to the outside again. What did we put? Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about this all by itself. I don't hate it. This is kind of like this one. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll set these two off to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I only got papers for 4 of these. So having already folded 4 plus having the one from last week, I'm going to be short pages. So I'm going to set the one from last week aside because it's different patterns and colors. And we're going to work on these. The first thing I think we should do is make our envelopes. So I'm going to decide, we're going to have a couple that go this way. I like that one in that direction. This one doesn't matter. And I like this one in this direction also. So those are our 2 that way and those are our 2 that way. It's good to have variety. Okay, now I have some, where are they at? Okay, I have some of this. This is RIT and coffee dye mixed. And what I did was I was coloring these pages from a book printout. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them pockets with this to the inside. So that's what the pocket will look like. Yeah? Does that make sense? Everybody understands what I'm talking about, right? And I'm pretty sure that no matter how I fold this, it's going to fit. Because this is 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, so it shouldn't be bigger than the, although I suppose I could get it to work, get it to sit at 5. There's my fold, and here's my fold. I don't want it to be all the way up to both folds, if that makes sense, because I got to have space to put my pages. And I think my pages are going to go on my big side. So I actually want to trim this. I want this to be a little narrower. I don't need to trim it. I just need to refold it. The flap will just be bigger. So we're going to fold it there and then bring the flap further down. Well. Okay. That is so crooked. I just want it to be straight, guys. Can we just do straight? You know what? Fine, don't be straight. Actually, is that better? That's better. Okay. Sorry about all that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down so that it opens in the same direction as our pages. And this side will be a pocket. Okay? So let's glue the envelope itself closed. We're going to kind of do this in assembly line, so I'm going to try and do all the envelopes first, and then we'll fold all the pages and decide how to attach them. She stapled hers. I don't know if I'm going to staple mine. Okay, so we're going to glue if you really wanted to, and I'm not going to do it this time because they take a while, or they take a minute anyway, and we got a lot going on. You could do one of those accordions like she did last time. Those turned out really cool. I like those, and I will be making some more of those. As a matter of fact, I might make some out of the one that I didn't use today might end up being an accordion. Who knows? Okay, so there's one of those. My glue's bubbling and acting up again. I don't want it to be 5. A little over 4 is okay. I didn't really think about it, but I guess the flap will be visible. That flap didn't have anything on it. Let's try going this direction. Gonna have to pay attention, guys. I don't really want, okay, so there's one for that. Okay, now these ones, this one has blue in it, but this one doesn't. I do have some that are coffee and not no writ. So as you can see, not colored. Okay, so let's glue. I really need a glue mat, guys. I'm gonna make a mess. Okay, so glue. I was so excited to get caught up. I mean, I know she said she was going to come back to this. I wasn't expecting her to come back to it so soon. I had a lot of fun making these. I like these little folio things. Like I said, I've been having this obsession with accordion style, you know, things and flippy books and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like this falls into that kind of realm. All right, let's open this up. And again, we're going to put the fold that way. And I'm going to make it a pocket again, so I need space. That's the only reason I wanted them kind of narrow, is because I'm trying to make sure there's enough room to get stuff in and out of the pocket. What's really kind of cool about these pieces of paper that I have is when I dyed them and then I baked them in the oven. But something interesting that I found out when I was baking, because they're from a laser printer. Something interesting I found out when I was baking them is that the toner, when you heat it up, sticks to the page above, well, whatever page is against it. So above, below, whatever. And the interesting thing is, when I figured that out, I took wax paper and baked all the pages with wax paper in between them. So some of this modeling that you see in here is because this paper now has wax embedded in it to some extent. I mean, I wouldn't call it a wax paper, but it's got wax in it. Oh, had some glue on the mat thing there. Okay, so that closes up. This closes up. So far, so good. That's 2. I know. I don't know if I'm making good time or not. I do want to get to the point where we can use up our strips so that this can be a true... I mean, whenever I find something, like I said, and it's got to be something I really like. I mean, I'm not just going to come on and show you guys, you know, some sort of 12 by 12 project if I don't myself like it. First of all, it's not going to be fun to reproduce. So, but that way, but when we were making these, I realized, hey, this uses a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And Rachel didn't. Rachel was using some of her beautiful, I mean, all that beautiful old paper that she has. I think a lot of hers were, I mean, they're from her digital kits, because I'm assuming when she gets those old Florentine papers and those old books and stuff, she scans them, and then she has them in digital kits, which is really nice. And then she prints on both sides of the paper. So she has those really pretty Florentine pages, which I was kind of trying to get that idea from some of this scrapbook paper that I was choosing to use. It's kind of, you know, it's definitely not Florentine paper. Nowhere near that pretty. But it's got that kind of idea where it's got some sort of a design on it. Almost like something you could use for wallpaper. Hey, based on those wallpaper books from the 70s, you know, I'm going to say that that could have been wallpaper somewhere. But anyway, no, this way. Anyway, so when I was doing mine to do the same project, to get it down to a good size, I had to cut off that strip. And then when I was making these folios for week 16, I did the one where we decorated our little envelope with napkin, which turned out really pretty, if I do say so myself. And then we put pockets on it using the strip of paper that was left, and therefore using up the whole 12 by 12 sheet, and then I thought to myself, well, dang, this is a really cool project for using up a 12 by 12 piece of paper. Oops. Got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay. All right, last one. Okay. There. The rambling got us through that part. So we have those. And now the next thing we have to do is, I'm going to set the glue papers aside because I'm not going to be gluing right now. And for all of the effort I make to not glue on my cutting mat now that I flipped it over, There's a ton of glue on it, guys. Okay, we are going to make pages. Now, oh, I am going to need my glue mats, because you know what I pulled, guys? You did see me make an accordion book, like Tina over at ChabbyDabbyDoodah did. And I was folding papers to maybe do another one. And when I realized that they would fit in here, I thought I could use them as pages in these little books. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these and I'm going to pick a sheet to go on the inside of it. What are my options here so that I know, not that they have to match or anything, but okay. So this is the one I'm going to have the most trouble matching, I think. I think I might just put it on the inside of this one. Okay, so it's going to go like this. And we're not going to glue it all the way down. I'm just going to glue it around certain edges so that it makes tall pockets. So there'll be a pocket page in our little folio. Okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it over this way and we're going to glue I'm going to glue down this side, around the bottom, and up the outside edge. I know these little extras are the things that end up taking up the time, right? But I mean, this is us having ideas and making projects our own. Right? Isn't that? Okay, it glued itself down before I was ready. I feel like that's part of the fun of this, is somebody gives us an idea. You know, Rachel gives us these ideas every week. And we get out our stuff and we make them our own. And that's the fun, right? All right, and that makes this a pocket. Getting glue all over everything. And let's do this side. Try not to glue my pocket shut before I even get it going. There are times when I drag a line of glue. I know I'm off the bottom of the screen. I can tell by where I am on my mat. There are times when I drag a line of glue and it is so straight, I amaze even myself. I'm like, how did you do that? How did you even do that? Okay. The other part will be choosing which book each one of these goes in, of course. But after we get them made, we're going to trim a little bit off. So before I decide what book they go in, they have to get trimmed. And we're also going to, after we trim them, we're going to punch a notch in the top so that we know there are little pockets there. Okay, so that's little pockets at the top, like that. See? All right, so we've made one. Let's do the others and then we'll get them. What do I have? I have a green. I'll have a red one with that one and a red and green one with that one, and then the green one will go with this one. Okay, we're good. We're good, we're good. Like that. You would think they were all the same size because I cut them all the same size, or at least I thought I did, but apparently I did not. So some trimming may be necessary, but for now we're just going to get them glued together. Okay. And hopefully we're done with the glue for a bit. Swiddle the nose, I'm starting to get sticky again. I tell you, when I'm done down here, because like my boys come down to go to bed and I leave my craft area and not crafting anymore for the night, I go upstairs and I sit in front of the TV and I peel glue off my fingers. Anybody else? No? Maybe I'm just very not careful with my glue. Okay, so we have some going that one goes that way, that one goes that way, that one goes that way, and that one goes, oh, I've got 3 going in one direction and 1 going in the other direction. That's not good because we got, oh well, whatever. Okay, now for pages to go inside. Well, actually, you know what? Let's trim. Let's set the glue pages aside for now because hopefully I'm done with those. We're going to trim these. These are 9 inches tall. I am going to take about 1/2 inch off. I'm going to try and make them 8.5 inches tall. Some of the papers I'm using to fold into these, and we're not making large, we're not making large folios. I mean, these are going to be like 4 pages, something like that. We're not talking thick signatures here. Okay. Now the only thing I have left to do is I got some of these pages. These are from an old textbook. So we're going to fold these in half. My issue with these may be that I have to cut off some of the edge. I may unbury my trimmer to do it, just because I think it will be faster. And hopefully it will work, because I feel like my trimmer has a tendency to... I'm going to do it this way because that gives it something at the top. Or something along the one side for interest. Okay. These aren't going to fit. These are too wide. So... Are you listening to all my ruckus? It's all the stuff that was on top of my trimmer. Okay. Let's make them about 4.5 inches wide. Yeah? How wide did we say these were? 4.5 inches. Okay. Ah, that's what I was afraid of. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to do it with scissors or my roller cutter. Saving grace there was the fact that I had those words to go along. It's gonna have to be done with my rolling cutter. This cutter catches everything. But to save time, since I know I'm going to have to do it this way, we're just going to cut them all at once. Trying to be more efficient. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. We're going to cut them just to this side of the 4.5 mark so that we're sure they fit. Okay. That's those. And then I have coffee dyed paper. And we all know that this, when you fold it, comes out to be... You know what I should do? Why is that all tattered? I wonder if I should get another one or if I should just go with it. I think I'm just going to go with it. We're going to tear this piece off. And we're just going to go with it. Okay, I'm going to cut these to 9 inches long, right? If I want 4.5 at the fold, maybe I should do it this way. Oh my gosh, they won't get straight. I just want them to be... We're going to take 2.5 inches off, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. Oh no, 1.5 inches off. Yeah, I can do math. I was actually good at math. Believe it or not. Sometimes you guys must watch me and go, yeah, sure you were. Doesn't mean I was good at cutting. Okay. So now these should all fold to 4.5 so that we have pages that will fit. I hope. I'm really hoping this all fits. I'm also really hoping I'm folding these the right way. Okay, now we have to do these ones. This is some coffee dyed ledger paper. So we're going to do the same thing on these. Pretty sure they're 8.5 by 11. So 13.5 is where we're going to cut. And I can't decide if I want to take the holes off or not. It would add interest in the fact that there would be something here that was a different size. I mean, I already have something that's a different size. The book pages aren't exactly 8.5 by 11. I kind of want to take the holes off though. So we're going to cut right along here. I mean, I don't mind them. I don't always take off tattered ends and... Are you kidding me? Did I really do that? Oh no, I tore the part that got cut off. Good. Okay, now we're going to fold these. So we get... Okay, so there we have some different size pages. And I had this one other idea. These are 8 by 8 scrapbook paper, and they are, as you can see, they're blue and brown. So I thought maybe, I mean, some of these colors go. I want them to all be different. You guys see me doing this? Okay, so that one is already in there. This one and this one. Okay. And then we'll figure that out in a minute. Let me get all of our... So that will make 5 pages. Oh my gosh, what a mess. Guys, are you seeing this mess? It can't look like this. I don't have any room to do anything. All right, and what we need to do now is put all of our page thingies together. Oh, this one's short. That blue one is short, so it's actually the ledger paper will go on the outside of that one. And since this is the odd man out, this is the one we'll do that with. So you get a piece of ledger paper and then this one, like this. Right? In here. No, it still sticks out. How did I do that? I don't know, guys. I'm not sure how I did that, but I did that. Okay. This will go in here, and then one of these will be the interior piece, right? The centerpiece, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so that's our little signature. I don't really care if the pages are all offset everywhere. It's going to go in here, so let's just see. I mean, it fits just. So we can keep it as it is. So we're going to find its seam and we're going to clip it. Let me get my clips out because I'm going to need clips. Big old bucket of, you guys over the pond call these bulldog clips, yeah? I think that's such a cool name. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I think it's a cool name. We just call them binder clips. So bulldog clip sounds so much cooler. Okay, so everything's in there. I'm going to clip it. I'm actually going to clip it at both ends because I have a ton of these and I can. Okay. Now that it's clipped there, I can clip it here. I'm hoping this works, guys. I really am. I mean, it feels like it's in there. Although I keep feeling like it's... Okay, sorry for the interruption, guys. Let's finish clipping this down. And I want to poke 2 holes. I'm just kind of eyeballing this. I'm not really... I just want to make sure that everything gets caught in it. So we're going to poke a hole there, and we're going to poke a hole here. Okay. I'm going to get... Sorry, I'm over here off camera because I'm getting some cording. And we're going to try and put cording through here with a needle. I hope. So we're going to use white, because you know what? I found an end. I'm going to stop burying things and hiding them from myself. And we're going to get a needle, because there's no way I'm getting this. There's no way I could get that through there without a needle. So, I can't remember where my needles are. That's funny. I think they're in this box up here. Okay. I think I got it. I think. Maybe. Okay. Well, enough that I can use it to pass through here. Okay, so I'm going to go down through this hole and up through the other one, and then we'll tie it in the middle. Come on. Well, it's definitely longer on one side than it is on the other. Okay, so we're just going to tie this in a knot. Right? Trying to hold it taut, trying to hold it taut, trying to hold it taut. I think that's the hardest part of this. Because that's loose. I mean, that's like really loose. But the pages aren't going anywhere, so I guess that's a good thing. And you could keep the strings like we do for a journal, or you could cut them off, I guess. And there we have it. So there's the idea. So we open it up and we have our pages in here, right? And when you open it, this is what you see, even though the thing opens this way. And then on this side, you have a pocket here, and you open this up and you've got a pocket here. Okay? So yeah, and then it's just tied in the back, just the one thread. Now, I don't know how you would tighten that up. If anybody has any suggestions for how to keep that taut, I mean, I tried to hold it as taut as I could, but I don't know any way to make that any tighter. I mean, it should hold. They're not going to go anywhere. If it bothers you, if that's loose, I guess you'd have to figure out some way to do something about it. I suppose you might be able to figure out something to do out here. Again, I don't know what that something would be. Okay, so there's one. I don't know if you guys want to watch me do the other 3 of these or not. So let's put this in. Let's get the book page in all of them. They all have ledger paper in them. Okay, and then we have our centers that we wanted to do. Okay, so we'll just tuck these in. I think we'll put this one in here. So this is going to go there. So again, we're going to need to clip it. All right, I think I'm going to get, I'm going to bring my clips back up. I'll get them all clipped. I don't think I want that one in there. I don't necessarily want this one in here either, but at least that goes. Okay. So we put this in here like this. And we do the clips, right? Okay, now the only other way I can think of to do this, if I want to stitch them, because I'd rather stitch them than staple them. I'm not a big staple person, plus I don't know where my stapler is. The last time I used a stapler, it's buried up in my office somewhere. I suppose I could do the 3-hole, if I can remember how to do it, because I don't off the top of my head. But we're going to give it a shot anyway and see what happens. All right, guys, you ready for this? I make no promises. I want to try, this is a little thinner. It's still cording, but it's thinner. And I've got this blue that looks like it might go. Oh my gosh, guys, what did I do with that needle? Are you guys paying any attention to me? I took it off the end of that white string and just unceremoniously dropped it on my desk somewhere. Sounds about right. It's a good thing I got a whole basket full of them over here. Although I'm going to have to find that one because I'll end up stabbing myself with it. Now these might just fit right through here. No? This cording is still stiff, so it wants to fight me. Okay, let me see if I remember this. You go down or in through the middle, up through the top, okay, pull it tight, go all the way down through the bottom, right? And then back up through the middle. Isn't that the way that works? Except you want it on the opposite side of this string. I'm trying to pull all my stuff tight. Again, we're trying to keep everything taut. Okay. And then you tie it around the middle. I usually, for a journal, I usually do a 5-hole punch. Just because when I have small things in there, I don't like the idea of not having enough. I'm always thinking that some of the smaller stuff that I fold into the center will get missed. Which is why I don't ever, for a full-size journal, I don't ever do. Okay, now. I don't know where to put this so that I don't lose it. Up there with the other one I just found. Okay, so that's that one, folded and closed. So if you have this little companion guy, now that we've stitched this separately on its own, you can tuck it into a pocket, you can clip it into a journal, you can glue it down if you wanted to on a page and have it be its own little flip out thing, right? Or you could glue this piece down to a page and have it be, you know, a tip out piece of a page. Lots of different ways you could use it. Depending on how you want to use it, of course, is whether or not you're going to put pockets and things on it. Now, one of the ideas I always have is to put some pockets in here in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 of these. And we're going to cut them about, let's see, how wide is it? 5 inches. So I think we're going to cut our pockets 4.5 inches wide. Let's do 4.5 inches and see how that looks. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Right here. Okay, and that'll go on there like that. Yeah. And then what I can do is I can cut another one at 4.5 inches. And we can make a stacked set. Just inside here like that. Let me, did I put my punch away? I did. All right, let me punch this. Oh, I should have punched them together like Rachel's always showed us. That way they line up. Yes? I like the way they shoot up and land on my shirt. Okay, and then we're going to put them on here like this, stacked. But what I'm going to have to do is ink them, otherwise you won't be able to see one from other. One from other. Listen to me. Yes, I speak well. But this is how you use the entire 12 by 12 piece. Now this piece is 3 inches square. And my thought for that is, I will show you in a minute. Let me ink. Now, because these all come from the same pad, if you wanted to, you could get some of these other ones if you wanted to mix and match. If you were doing a group of these and you were doing them all from the same paper pad, obviously mixing and matching would be, you know, easily done. I just happened to grab this one because it was easy and I like this green. Okay, we want that in the... All right, let's glue this down and I'll show you what to do with the little square, or what my thought was to do with the little square, and then that will give you the idea of how I took this challenge of Rachel's and used up 12 by 12 paper to do it, which I always like it when these challenges kind of overlap and give me ideas for other, because this is what I'm looking for on the 12 by 12 paper series that I'm doing, that you know, it's kind of an ongoing. I'll keep adding to the playlist as long as I keep finding cool ways to use 12 by 12 paper. But I just thought it was really neat that we were in the middle of, I was in the middle of Roxy's challenge and I was like, huh, this could go in my 12 by 12 paper sheet thing. So yeah. All right. Now this, you can do two things. You can either cut it in half, make 2 tiny tags out of it. Or my thought was you could slice it on its diagonal and make some corner tucks with it. So they're not going to be big corner tucks, but they're corner tucks nonetheless. And you can use them in the pages on your little book that you just made. So like I could put this one here. I could put one in here on this. Or I could go to the back and do it back here since you can still see those pockets. I've been stretching this ink pad, guys, because it's a kind of a water-based ink. So every night I take it over to when it seems like it's, well, not every night, but on the nights where it seems like I'm having trouble getting ink out of it, I take it over and I dribble a couple of drops of water onto the pad and then I close it up and I let it soak up the water and it re-wets my ink. So I thought that was kind of cool. All right, let's get this down. Okay. So we have a little corner tuck there. My thought was to put it here or on the back on the other side of this. Almost like you slid a page corner on here, which I kind of like that idea. So we're going to do that. I wanted to use up the strip so that we used up a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And I'm glad we got at least 2 of them made. I have said in the past, I tend to be one of those people, and I know I have been doing some decorating, you know, breaking out flowers and doing all that. I tend to be one of those people though, that likes to leave my bases as neutral as possible. Just so that once I decide what journal it goes in, I can decorate accordingly. Now, having said that, with the papers chosen as they have been chosen, this isn't exactly neutral. Okay. All right. So Now, with that in mind, let me see what I have over here, and I'll see if I've got... Ooh. What I do like doing with these sometimes is taking... You see these dimensional stickers that are on here? Like this one is really cute. I kind of like it. I like taking them because you can slide... You can put them here and use them as a close for your... You can use them as a close for your envelope. So I'm going to glue this down. I'm always leery because I don't know, I don't want it to go too far because then it makes it hard to get it in and out. I just want it to go far enough to hold it down. Okay, and that goes on there like that, and then you just pull it out from under the sticker. See, that's almost too far. And then you just tuck it back in. Like that. So that's really cute. I like that. Hold on. Maybe we'll do one more. Right on here. To hold that closed. So let's glue this one down and then we'll be done. So it goes right under there. And I don't know if it's because it's coffee dyed paper or because there's something there to catch on. But yeah, that holds it closed. So there we go, guys. We got one completely finished. I showed you how to use the cutoff strips to put pockets in here so that the entire piece of 12 by 12 paper is used to make one of these. And then we got this one stitched. So this one strung, sorry. And yeah, this was Roxy's Weekly Challenge 19, taking those folios that we did in 16 and turning them into small notebooks. Great idea. Ton of fun. Love how they turned out. Thanks again, Rachel, for another fun project. And I will see you in week 20. Bye-bye, guys.